So let us lift up his name. For the conclusion of the matter is that we should have our APPOINT. For this is the duty of every man. So let us praise his name. Praise his name. Oh, don't you know there's none like Yahweh? Don't you know there's none like him? Oh, yes, I know there's none like Yahweh. Yes, I know there's none like him. Lift up your hands in the tabernacle and lift your voices to Yahweh. Let everything that has breath make a joyful noise. For it is Yahweh that gives us life. For he has given us Yahshua, which is the perfect offering.
The power that you had toward us, Abba Yahweh. Let us stand to our feet, nation. Blow the trumpet in the mouth of Yahweh and Yahshua, HaMashiach. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Precious Abba Yahweh, which is the Hashemayim, Kurush in your mighty name, your Merkud to come, your will be done. In earth, Abba Yahweh, and it is the Hashemayim. Give us this day our daily lesson. Forgive us our debt, Abba Yahweh, and we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil, Abba Yahweh. For yours is the Merkud, the power and the honor, Abba Yahweh, forever, Abba Yahweh. So be it, Abba Yahweh. May it be fulfilled in the precious mighty name of Yahshua HaMashiach, who come like this stand. He feed us the wisdom of your immutable truth to your nation, Abba Yahweh, that we may shemach here, Abba Yahweh, to soon turn back unto you, Abba Yahweh. In the present and mighty name of Yahshua HaMashiach, I pray. Hallelujah, hallelujah. We come to sing hallelujah. That's how we are.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. For this is YisraYah'ale, the Yam of Yahweh our his Shabbaton. We shall come before him with praising, with singing, with dancing, that we may lift his name on high, YisraYah'ale. For Yahweh is truly tough and patient with poor YisraYah'ale. Come on, let us sing unto Yahweh.
Don't you know there's none like Yahweh? Don't you know
Yahweh, for his name is worthy to be praised. So lift your voice and clap your hands. Stomp your feet and give Torah. For Sukkah is nearing us, when we will sing and give praise for the abundance that Yahweh has given us. Lift up your voices unto him, unto him. Oh, don't you know? Without the yoke of sin. So with our breath let us praise Yahweh, for he has done mighty things, mighty things. Oh, don't you know there's none like Yahweh? Don't you know? Yah for life, health, strength in our bodies this morning. So let everything that has breath, let everything that has breath praise Yahweh. Let everything that has breath praise Yahweh. Let everything that has breath praise Yahweh. Everything that has breath praise Yahweh.
along with the degrees of salutation, bowing our hearts and our minds above all. The will of my desire. It is punctuated by the will of His inspiration and His instruction. So we've come to another moment of time, and YHWH, I bow in supplication. YHWH for Yeshua. Not only that, but for the house of YisraYah'ale. That I will honor all men according to the wisdom of Yah. I will not for no man submit myself unto the lies and the corruption of any man. Not even the man that I am. I stand for one thing alone. And that's truth. Makes no difference whether you love me or care for me. Because one day I will leave this realm of life and I will be forgotten just like those that are out there. Nobody visit them. So it's not a troubling thing at all. I come to us today nothing but the expression of His truth. And I will teach that. I want to teach, although this has to do with 2019, but I want to teach this. It is the appointed, the appoint, and the appointments of Almighty Yah. No one can make an appointment unless they have the legal authority to make that appointment. And an appointment is a sign to us to keep us ready. One has an appointment with the physician. One constantly reminds oneself, what is that date? What time do I need to be there? They want to be prompt, on time. As a matter of fact, they want to be before time. An appointment is defined by a purpose. There's a reason behind it. And the reason why there are results that are fortified and come forth out of the one that has the power to appoint. He is the one that not only does He appoint, He has appointed those before us and institutions before us, and then it culminates to the appointment. We must meet the appointment. And I want to teach today in a dialogue in a truth that is so simple. We have been fed the abundance of the lechem, the bread, the meat of strength, should mature us, make us bona fide. It should fortify us, to make us strong, with a great loving anticipation. What shall come? What shall be? And we examine that by the fruits, as we were taught, of my own ruach. We all think that we're fruitful, but we're full of our violent evil against God. Let me break it down, all right? I want to begin this teaching here in Shemuth, Exodus, from the beginning of all Moads. Moad is a time, a season that we must meet the appointment. We must be on time. We cannot be delayed by anything at all. So the appointment must be met by the one that has the authority to adjudicate, to implement the legalities and the laws of this appointment, and we must meet the criteria. Understood? So the Torah says in Exodus Shemot, this is the appointed and the beginning of the appointments. He says in verse 15, you shall keep guard Shema. Guard is so that your mind is hedged about with thorns, that nothing wild can penetrate our minds. You shall keep hot matzah. You shall eat matzah 7 days. As I, Sheva, commanded, because I have the authority to command, as I command you in the time soon, in the time appointed. Yeah. It is my ability, my authority to define the time, and I've appointed certain indications that you will know the time and you will understand clearly when the time, the season is. Yah says in the time appointed. It is a constitution. It is set. It is soon. It cannot be removed, and it is a sign. It is an oath for YisraYah'ale. So Yah says, this is my appointed time. He says, of my chodash, of my month, Abib. For in it you came out of Misraim. You came out of the bondage of Egypt. You abandoned all of those things that weighed you down in Egypt. And I brought you forth at that time. We're going to deal with one aspect today. That which is appointed, the appointments, and who is the one that appoints things. Who is the one? What gives that one the supreme authority to define why he appointed that? What is the purpose of that? Yah said the purpose of this month, and that's the beginning of my year, is to keep you in touch, in tune with me. So at this time you won't come empty-handed. You will bring a gift unto me. You will bring an offering that is beyond your ability. Some of us are so dead and full of sin, you can't even Baruch. There is no life of appreciation in you because you flat out don't give a damn. The doctor tell you on that appointment, you are in the best health, you want to hug him. You want to shop. When it comes to Yah, we have no damn life in us. But I'm not backing down for no one. You can count on that. He says, and none shall appear before Yah empty. Your hands shall not be empty. For I have brought abundance of the labor and fruits multiplying. So don't come to me half-heartedly and shop-bucking. What we do, the beginning of Yah's year is to search the ground, search our wicked hearts, and let Torah tell us that we're violent, we're reprehensible, we're evil, we're sadistic. And He gives you time through in that period of time not to allow sin to corrupt your mind. Get that mess out of us against one another. You understand? It's sad that we have such an endearment to the world. When it comes to each other, we don't give a damn. And I don't care if you don't like me. I don't care if you don't appreciate me. He does. That's all that matters to me. I don't care if she doesn't. She is not bound by any kind of shackles to stay with me. So the one thing that binds her, her love, her care for me, nothing else. Yah says don't come empty-handed. And He gives us time to go through this period until we come to this time. We shall come before Him with a great rejoicing and a blessing and appreciation. I want to deal with one thing. The one that appointed the appointer, the appointment. I would have begun here and showed you when Yahshua, when he set it in his heart, when it is a constitution delivered by him unto his Naviim, the messengers, you better take heed. Yes. You better listen. True. I would have begun in Hanuk chapter 2. Hanuk, and I will say to us, read the entire chapter of Hanuk chapter 2. This is what the Nobi, the great prophet of Yah, Yah commanded him to examine everything that I have appointed and see if they are precise, systematically, on time, not delayed, but on time. Yes. We're sometimes joyful, yes. We're funny the next day, yes. And we're silly as a jackass the third day. Yeah. We pretend the fourth day, we're self-righteous the fifth day, the sixth day we don't give a damn, and then the seventh day we come as though that we're all revived and rejuvenated, like we've laid down our sins. We're liars. I want to read what Hanuk says. Hanuk 2:1. He says, I want you to examine. We don't give a damn about the wind or the storms. Pray, take them upon someone else. I don't pray that. The only one that will pray that kind of prayer, a false prayer, is one that has a violent contempt for Yah. Thy will be done. It says to examine all the activities which take place in the sky. When the last time you looked up? When the last time you saw the beauty of the stars, the few that we can see? When the last time you look up? We don't. He commands us to examine the sky and how they do not alter their ways. Yah set the storm on his course. It's going the way Yah set it. It's not going to deviate one bit at all. It spares not the righteous man, the wicked man, the baby, the child, or the mother. Yah sets the course of the tsunami, the typhoon. He does. He said they do not alter their ways, and we alter our ways all the time. He said, and examine the luminaries of the Shemayim. Look at the heavens. Go at night at times and just look at the heavens. We don't do that. We don't do that. You see how quiet we got? Oh no, we don't do it. He says, examine the luminaries of the Shemayim, and how each one of them, not just some, each independently, they rise and they set. They come at the appointed time, the appropriate time, they rise and they're set. They set in a position and nothing alters that. Each one systematically according to its respective season. Each moed according to its respective season. He says, and they do not diverge, they do not change one iota from their appointed, from their soon, from the set time to the constitution. What Yah has placed them there, and the reason, the son unto a house, that he gave them a son when he brought them out of YisraYah'ale, and he gave them an appointed time for the seasons to bless, abundance, to examine, and to bring forth the abundance of our love at the end. And the last great day that you truly enjoy the comfort of YisraYah'ale. We don't give a damn. We love those that are defiant and wicked more than we care for the people of Yah. We can associate with them, we can be around them. You don't give a damn, you don't want to be around Yah's people. And that's a fact. I'm just getting started. Don't worry. I want you all to prove him right. Let me be damned. They do not divert, they assume the order, the appointed order. Why? Because it is a constitution of Yah. They are for signs for us. The Moedim are for signs for us. The sun, the moon, they're all signs for us. Show us that we must have the same insignia. We must be the same as Yah today, as he was yesterday, and we must be that way forevermore. We're funny as hell. We're dubious as best. We're hypocritical because we're liars. I speak the truth. I'm instructed by this book to speak it. And I will not alter it for some Jezebel of a thing, some immature boy. I will not do it for me. And I certainly will not do it for you. He didn't do it. And I can't do it. I want you to understand the appointed, the soon, the moed, the ya'at. I want you to, because I'm going to teach it. Emphatically, if you love me or not. Then he goes on to say in Hanok 2:2, he says, and look at the earth, and turn in your mind concerning the actions which has taken place in her from the beginning to the end. Nothing has altered. You began one day, and you're going to end one day. You're not going to prolong it 1 second. There's a season and an appointed time for all things. And there's a colon there. How all the work of Yah as being manifest does not change. Yah does not change at all. He is the same today, yesterday, and forevermore. He says, he declares, for I am Yah, Yo'abah, and Melchia, and I change not. Therefore, you violent, wicked sons, and we are wicked as hell. Yaakov, I don't kill you, dirty mamzy. He changed not. He made a promise unto Abraham. He doesn't change. Not that your works are that righteous. Our works are not that righteous. We don't understand as our Zakim brought out to us the fruits of patience. You don't give a damn about enduring no one. We have no correction for no one because we walk wild as hell. I'm not going to stop saying what I say. And real wild, you cannot confront someone because you're hypocritical. You can't tell no one. I'm not wild. I walk with great restraints. It is by way of Torah. And that's why we don't interject ourselves into the fair. This leg is hurting today, but I inject myself into the affairs of this leg. This leg is hurting. And that doesn't make me alter one thing at all. It calls me to be careful in my approach, my walk, and that's what this teaching is for today. We're full of it. And we think we're going to serenade into the kingdom. Let me proceed, all right? The works of Yah being manifest does not change. That lets us know he wants us to know, I am Yah. And I don't change, I don't shub, I don't turn around for anyone. I change not. And he said, we are so insane to ourselves. We don't realize why he didn't kill us. He killed that one at 17. His head was blown off. That's how stupid we is. That's how insane I am. She was captured and butchered. She was no wicked than your whorish daughters or your whorish grandbabies or your faggot-looking son or grandson. We're insane. That's the way we is. He says, I don't change it. And then he says, I want you to embrace, behold, the summer. not only the summer and the winter, how the whole earth is filled with water, clouds and dew, and he, Yah, caused rain to rest upon us. Let your Ruach rain upon me, Yah. And when the Ruach is in anyone, it testifies of the power, as we were reminded by this on this week. Letting that mind is the testimony of Yah's power, His truth. And once we understand that, then we, as He confirmed unto us, I said to them, you all taught me so much in those 2 days, that He instructed us that we will then testify openly. It is seen, it is visible, and there is no pretense. None whatsoever. Because we have that testimony that testify openly before HaMashiach. We shut up our whatever truth in us because we have respect for the wicked in the world. We have no respect for what Yah has appointed. You're going to die that way. The way you came in here, you're going to die that way. You can pretend and sweep it under the rug, but it's going to create a lump of dirt in the ground when it's all done with. I see why people don't love this man. They don't care for me. Look at this small contingent of people. That's all right with me. I'm fine. Hallelujah. Let's understand the power. So we're reminded on this past week of the Moads. As we fasted, we afflicted ourselves that the testimony of this season will be fruitful. Because it reminds us of this person, the power of this one appointed, as we learn that he is the Kohan. He is the Kohan Gadol. He is the great one. You can dress in your outfits all you want to. It doesn't signify nothing. I want to engage our minds here in 1 Peter. Kefa. 1 Peter chapter 2. Let's draw our attention to verse 6. This is what the Shalisha leaves us. Wherefore, also it is contained in Katuv, in Torah. Behold, I want our eyes to be open, as Kefa says. He says, I lay in Sion, in Zion. He is not just a stone, but he is the chief.
Yes.
He is the chief cornerstone. He is electos. He is elected. He is the one that has been picked out and chosen by Almighty Yah, just like he did for his house of the elect YisraYah'ale. Yes. And the reason this and these things don't speak to us, because we got time for everything but Yah.
True.
We don't study the Torah like Yah commands us. To see in there if our testimony is precise and concise with what is written. And we actually think we have eternal life. We are the ones that testify of Him. But there is an appointment for us all. And He shows us these signs. Say, get right. YisraYah'ale. Get right by you. You better get right. And Jephthah says, not only that, but he is intimos. He is a prize, choice He is precious.
Yeah.
He is so prized that the beauty of him comes by his reputation. He has a reputation that is staunch. It is clean. That's why I say we're not the student of words. I hate it when men try to alter a statement they made. I said, I heard your words, man. This is how you form that sentence. Well, I didn't mean it like that. You should never say anything unless it's well thought out. A fool speaks his mind. He just blur out things before he consciously realizes the statement of what he is saying. He doesn't speak by wisdom of what was spoken. She speaks by reactions, emotions, feelings, and we will defend every damnable thing. But what is appointed? Proceeding. And he that believes on him, we will not be confounded. In essence, we won't be ashamed to testify of him. We won't get in front of the wicked and be afraid to testify and tell you you're wrong. You're sadistically evil. I do it all the time. Young man called me on yesterday, his wife, he wants to bring her. She has talked to me, and when she talks, she weeps. She said, I've never participated. I said, come on, young daughter. He says to me, I purchased an 810. I said, where did you buy it from? And he told me he got it from Walmart. I said, take it back. Get your money. Get your money back. He says to me, Rayak, I don't even have the money to pay for it. Why? That I embrace him because I can tell in his ruach the way he regarded me. And I know in hers. And her language is like mine. And I know they're listening. Who are they? Don't worry about who they are. Hallelujah. You will not be ashamed. When one is confounded, it is one is ashamed. One is ashamed to defend Hamashiach. One is ashamed to defend him before this ruthless, damnable, twisted world. There is no testimony of honesty in us. Yes. He says to you, YisraYah'ale, therefore, who believe, he is more than precious. Verse 7. Yes. But to them that is disobedient, defiance of Torah, they do not keep the mitzvot, they do not keep the Shabbat, they don't even honor the appointed times of Yah. He said, unto those that are disobedient, the stone which the builders disallow, they will not allow that stone in their lives to build upon the foundations that are sure. He said the same is made not only a cornerstone, but he has made the roof. He has made the head of the corner. And there's a comment there to let us know that clause of that statement stands by itself. And there is something that clarifies that in the next verse. A stone he is. He is a lithos. Litha. He is a stone of stumbling. He is one that creates obstacles in our lives. He is the one that allowed the obstacle of your son, your husband, your wife, your children, your job, your things to cause you not to meet his appointment. You will allow those things to subdue you. You don't meet the appointment of his moed, his times and his season, because we don't give a damn. And Yah says, I placed Yahshua there to make you stumble because you don't care. It's a stumbling. He is a stumbling. He is a stumbling and a rock of offense. To who? Even to them which stumbles at his word. When you got a problem, I don't like the way Dawid speaks to me. I don't like his verbiage. And we stumble at the truth of Yah. We justify our actions and our deeds, and yet we stumble at what's right. Because we want it to appear so that I'm righteous. I do this on my own. You're going to die damn fool that way. I can do nothing without the breath of Yahweh. And that's the way we think. We think doing that it justifies my wrong. Yahshua's don't justify my wrong. He cleansed me from it. He purged me from it. But that I don't go back that way again. It's one thing I tell men. You don't have to tell me things 2 or 3, 4, 5 times. If you told me something one time, I remember it. You told me things of truth, you don't have to come back and tell me redundantly. Evangelist Hartsfield didn't have to reprove me because his word that he spoke reproved me. And I hated those kinds of teachings whereby I could soothe myself with things that were smooth, did not cut to the core of anything that I thought was integrity. I wanted to be bruised. I wanted every message to rebuke me, to correct me. Well, at least he ought to preach something that encourages us. Don't you know? I encourage us to go the way of Yah and not the way of hell. You are a twisted, damnable fool. You are stupid. But tell me about love. If I preach love to you, you'll find out you don't have nothing. You don't have a damn thing. Yah is love. Unless he put that in us by Emunah, you don't have no love. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. He said, but to them even who stumbles, who fall, who the word is an obstacle in their way, at the word, why? Being disobedient. That's what we are. Is there calling out the disobedient? Yes. Why? Because Yah says whereunto also they were, not was, past tense. They were they were appointed to walk in that kind of wickedness. And if Yah did not change them, he's not trying to change them. You think that I can change someone. You can't save and help no damn one. You can't even help yourself. Because we will not be in the misery of shape that we're in if we could help others. You're not helping no one. That's why we must save ourselves. Let me be a fool, man. Take your family and run. When you see the depravity of this fool's mind, run. This is the way I started preaching. I'm going to die this way. This is the way it was brought into my ruach. This is the way I'm going to die this way. Yah says they're stubborn and disobedient. Yah said, I appointed them. I appointed them. I set them there. I put the seal upon them that you may understand, you that have been appointed to the kingdom riches, that you may know and understand. How will I do that? Watch the heavens. Watch the sun. Watch the moon. They never alter. But this one, those, that one, they alter all the time. They're up one moment, they're sideways, they're flat on their backs, and they change every single day. You embrace me today and you look away from me tomorrow. You think of me as your brother today and you can't even embrace me to say I got something in my heart against you. That's a damn fool. So Yah says I've appointed them. Oh, they may look all pristine and all righteous in your eyes, but Yah said I appointed him. Did he appoint the feast days? Did he set them in his heart? So did he appoint that. He appointed them. The appointment. The appointments. You're going to meet the appointment. And you're not going to be late. Yah says, I appointed them devils because they don't believe. They don't embrace my truth. They love things that speak to them rosily. That you're sweet. You're not sweet. My ear Shaw would say to me, you're not very sweet. Okay, so I'll have to capitulate and become sweet. We are hypocrites. We're so full of our self-righteousness. We like to hide stuff. That's why people They like to hide their ways, but you're not getting by. You don't get by me. You may get by others, but you don't get by me. None of us. Not even you, my lady friend. Period. Can I proceed from there?
Yeah.
That's one of the appointments. Let's forget about the first one. That's the second one, that even Hanuk. Let's go to the third one here in Mikai. My friend, hallelujah. All these years at family, and sometimes, not sometimes, I bruise. And I'm not careful. They said a tremendous offering this week. Why? Because they knew we needed it. That's a fact. But I bear not the sword of Yah in vain. Not one bit. Glad to see my friends. All these years, their battles, they have been faithful. They have. They have been kind to us. Let me stop that before I start crying, and I'll have to wrestle him down to the ground and put him in a headlock. And he doesn't want me be in trouble, but that's all right. Let me proceed in Michael. He's talking to us, right?
Yes.
He's talking about our rishia, our wickedness. We see everyone's wickedness but mine. Everybody's wrong but me. You're not even a damn hypocrite. I'm going to do her right, him right, they right. Hell, they don't even know how to do right. And they will never do right by you. Look what the Navi, the prophet, says in verse 9, Michael 6:9. It says, Yahweh's Kola. When the word voice is the same as all, Kola. It is the composition of all of Yahweh. His voice speaks of what he is. My voice tells you what I am. It says the voice of Yah Karad. It cries with such depth that no ear will go untouched by it. It cries to the city. And it cries to the man that is singular Yoshua, the man of wisdom shall see your name. When a man has that testimony of that renewed mind, the mind of Yoshua in him, they will see his name. And they will say, damn Jesus Christ, and damn the Lord God, and damn all of your Christos, your gods, and all of your Jesuses. Because the hood Jesus is different than the rich Jesus. The trailer park poor trash whites, Jesus is different than the rich white folks. And the hooded God Jesus is different than the bourgeois people that call themselves Hebrews. You don't get by with me. And if you don't get by with me, you think you're going to get by with God. That's how silly we is. See, only the wise man is going to hear his name and shall see his name. He says, hear my kindness, or he says, hear you the madet, the rod, the rod. Hear what the rod speaks. I'm bringing us the rod today. That says nothing. And who has appointed it? Who has Ya'at? Who is the one that assigned the rod? Who is the one that said, I'm going to beat the hell out of you in you, and I'm going to drop you in hell? Who is the one that says, hear what the rod says? Not just what the rod says. You need to know who has appointed this over us. You need to understand who is bringing this correction. Correct me, Yah, in your judgment. Judge me. I want to be around YisraYah'ale. I don't want to get high-minded and think that you are less or someone is less than me. I will not allow that. And I'm more righteous than someone else. And I've got much more, I got more kindness. You don't have a damn thing. Because if you have that kind of kindness, everybody would see it. They will know it. If you have that kind of damn love, listen, we clap our hands and all that bogus bull, and we are the ones that think we got that kind of kindness, and you are the one that think you're loving, and you are the one that think you got something that's right, full of unrighteousness. I cannot get into the kingdom, not the way, but his way. There's only one man in Torah. The Torah says, I'm going to teach that. I was looking at it this morning. I said, oh my God. Y'all listen to that man's voice. And he altered the dynamics. And the Torah said, it has not been done that way for no man. Not for Hanuk. Even until this time. Huh? Is it you? Oh no. I don't want it to be me. Who has appointed the Lord? The one that has authority. And we think we can be self-righteous and get by. You're a fool. In all of our ways, we think, I am righteous. I don't care what you say. We're better than everyone. Your kindness is better than everyone. That's a lie. Look what he says in verse 10. And there yet do we call the treasures of the wickedness in the house of the wicked. We look at them and say they're kind and nice. They're sweet. Those that don't even know Yah. I go down here, the man, they call me brother, pastor. I don't refer to them that way. They said to my young friend the other day, he went with me, he said, now that's an intelligent man. I said, I'm not intelligent. I said, you have the sense and the ability greater than mine. You have done things, you have created finance for your family to take care of them well. The only thing I've done is work the job. This is how stupid we is. That's what it says. Do you count the treasures in the house of the wicked? You look at that. Yah says, and the razon or the scant, they waste away in diseases in their minds. They can't love Yah. You can talk to your damn son all day, he's not going to love Yah. You can speak to your hoest daughter all day long. That doesn't mean she's going to love Yah. Hallelujah. She'll look at you with disdain. And she will let her actions be known. He will let you know, hold up, Pop. You can't even save you, or you're going to save them. Silly. It's silly. I don't cast the pearls of Yah before swines. And I don't give that which is those set apartments out to devils. And what I do, they're going to be quiet and they're going to listen. And when it's done, they're going to be quiet. That's going to give them something to think about. And they're going to go away in quietness. They came verbose, but when they finish with me, they're going away in quietness. That's the power of the testimony, the witness of Yahshua. He says, the measure of the wicked's house, quote, they're doing good. I know they're gods unto themselves. Oh, my cousins are doing good. Or my son and his wife, they're doing good. My daughter and her husband and her children, they're doing so good, unquote. They're gods to you. And they have become gods. That's the truth. Yes. Oh, I saw brother so. He's a whoremonger of a dog. He's doing so good. I saw my son. He's doing better. But you know, he's really doing good. He's a damn dog. He's a god to you. He can do no wrong. There's nothing he can do you can classify as wrong, but you will tell me what I'm wrong. He's a dirty devil. He's a dog. You'll be with me for a while and you're going to run because the heat is on now. You don't care who you is. It makes me no different. They're doing good. They're not doing the way of Yahweh. They're doing their own God way because they're gods unto themselves. Yah says, what you think of the wicked, it is nothing but a scat of a to'eba that is abominable before Yah. Yah says, shall I count them pure with wicked balance and with a bag of deceitful weight? They know we're down. Because if we don't obey what Yah says, if we don't do what He says, then how can they see? The Torah tells us to let our light so shine among the world, that men may see our excellent of works, and that they may honor, esteem Yah. They don't tell me folks do that with us. I want men to see that I'm different.
Yes.
And know that I'm different. And they will honor that. I want them to see the light, because I don't talk the Jesus damn lie. And I let them know. Man, we saw the day all of his esteeming. He even talked to him and said he's an intelligent man. I'm not that way. Yes, you are, man. I had said to him, you got more education than all your foolish nephews and all of that. Then he told me his story. His story reminded me of my story. My mother never took time with me. I was the dumbest thing in school, I said I was too. Back in my segregated school, I flunked the first grade. I was telling my imam the story of him. He said, preach, I got you. I flunked the first grade, I flunked the third grade, and I flunked the fourth grade. I said, but we all flunked the first, didn't we? So that shows how ignorant we is. And because of that, he opened up. Because he sensed an integrity and honesty. When people don't sense no integrity with us, they can't confess their faults, he said. Because they know you're just like them. They talk bullshitting. They talk a game. They're not going to confess anything to you. And when he began to tell me the story, my heart was smitten. It really was. I said, wow. Grabbed me and hugged me. He grabbed him. He didn't want to shake his hand. I said to him, you watch how I deal with men. Watch. We must be the examples.
Yeah.
In everything we do. On our jobs, everywhere you go.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
That's right. Yah, who has appointed. He's appointed the rod of correction. The rod is the Messiah. That's why men and women, they think that, well, I don't need nobody. You leave a silly child to themselves. They're going to bring destruction. They are not accountable to anyone. They don't want no accountability. When you go to the doctor, you're accountable to him. You're accountable to the appointment, to the payment. You better have your Social Security and all of that. You got to pay the price. And what your Medicaid, Medicare doesn't pay, you got to come out of the pocket with that. You understand that? When I went down to get my Social Security card, the lady said, I want to make sure you're right because you know your what's it called? I said, I don't need it. I don't want it. You will never have to worry about me spending your government's money. What if you get sick? Then I'll die. We are some immature, fearful people. That's the way we is. That's why we have no witness. That alone intimidates us. Can I tell you something? I'm going to die anyway. No man dies before the time. Doctors say you're going to live that long, and he lived 50 years longer. Somewhere we must, as the just of Yah's calling, we must live by emunah.
Yeah.
That's the fact of the matter. Don't get mad at me, get mad at him. He's the one put the stipulations here, I did not.
Yeah.
One day we got to live by Imunah. We're going to have to trust Yah and believe Him and wait on Him. In life or death, we wait on Him. We're going to have to do that. And that's just a fact, nation. Let America come down. Keep doing your thing, Mr. Trump. Tear up Obamacare and all of it. It's a fact. That's me. I don't condemn you for that. I'm just saying, if you listen and allow Yah's faith to develop you, you will trust Him. You will honor Him. We are the justified and we live by Imunah. Listen to this. Hanuk. He speaks, I want to visit or revisit here. He speaks of the gathering of Yah's people, the Nephish, or the Nephish of people, the Nephish. He speaks of that. And he speaks of a time of judgment, and I'm going to justify that in books that you're familiar with. All right?
Yes.
But these are the words of Hanuk here in Enoch, chapter 22. I will begin reading at verse 1. All right? Hallelujah. I will say to us all, read the entire chapter and learn how to study words and be attentive to every word. Hanuk says in Hanuk 22:1, he said, I went to another place, and the Malak, the messengers of Yah, he showed me the west side. You always knew that the west side of town was the most dirtiest and the corrupt, all right? He showed me the west side, and he showed me a great and a high mountain. It was of hard, notice now, hard rock. YHWH is the Pena Rush, or the Rushpina, is the head, chief, cornerstone. Verse 2, and he said, and inside of it, there were 4 beautiful corners. It had in it a deep, wide, and smooth thing which was rolling over. Speak to me, Nobi, the smooth things, that they don't offend me. Semicolon.
Yes.
And it, and place, it was deep and dark. It was dark to look upon. It was dark. There was such a darkness there. Not only is opaque, you can feel it. It was a deep darkness. And he says, Hoshak, dark to look at. He said, and at that moment stood up one, Rufael, the messenger of Yah. We're going to need the wise man to stand up. Yeah. We're going to need true messengers. We're going to need those men that are young and strong and warriors and dynamic of Yah to stand in the might whereby they lay down their own life. He did not, he said, there stood up one. He was a messenger of Yah. I don't need no man. That is so stupid. That's a, you know, that's an immature mind when someone says that. They're like a woman says, I don't need no man. You know you're dying for one. Fool. You never heard that? You never heard a woman say, I don't need no man. She's down and desperate because no man wants you, have that. And someone says, I don't need no man because that one is not a man. You must understand a man has the Rusha of Hamashiach. That is his Rusha. His ways not only speaks of the volume of his power, but his attitude speaks of that. When you see him, you know, whoa, he ain't like, right. He ain't not like the rest of them. He's different. You see him, he looks like the world, and his mannerism like the world. He's not a man, he's a boy. Little boy say, I'm a man. Boy, sit down. I'll knock you out. I don't need no man, honey. Stop that foolishness, woman. You say that because no man wants you. You're not appealing to any man. That's why you say it. Man, I don't need no woman because you look a mess. And no woman with any kind of decency would have you. That's a fact of the matter. I'd rather be by myself. I said, no, you'd rather be a recluse by yourself. Because you can lie to you. You can tell you lies. It's a different thing. You think you're looking all fine and splendid, and someone say, you look like a mess, man. You call yourself holding down, and you think this is nice? We get offended, don't we? Yes. How do I look at this scene when I'm offended? That looks a mess. I said, well, you know, it's gotten too tight. No, you've gotten too big, man. We don't like that. What about this? I don't like that. It doesn't match. We don't want anyone's honesty and truth. We don't even want Yah's honesty and truth. We defy it. We reject it. We don't want no honesty and truth. We rather look to the house of the wicked. Oh, they're doing so nice. They got a new car, and we get jealous of that. We have some emotion. You are silly as a fruitcake. You are silly as a fruitcake. They got a payment too. They got a payment. You understand? I've got somewhere to lay my head. I'm going to eat well today from what I didn't eat yesterday. I'm going to lay in my bed this evening. I'm going to enjoy the bountiful blessings of God. I'm going to get up in the morning and cook and take care. May do a little work after the Shabbat, because the things I want to look nice when the few come that come. And I'm going to cook all day. I don't care how leg feel or what, because I want God's people, just a few, to enjoy the riches and the blessings and His power to sustain us. I enjoy it. I love doing for God's people. That's why I do right by all men. But when it comes to YisraYah'ale, especially them, especially them, especially them. Hallelujah. Look what he says here. Chanukh 22:3. And at that moment, Rufiel, one of the Kodesh Melechim, who was with me, he responded to me. And he said to me, these beautiful quarters are here in order that the Ruachim, of the spirits of one's nefesh, of the dead, shall be a symbol. They're there to be a symbol unto them. They are created so that the nefesh of the children of the people should gather here. And they're there for one purpose, and Yah has ordained the purpose. What is the purpose? They prepared these places in order to put them, i.e., in other words, who? The nefesh of the people there until the day of their judgment and the appointed time of the great judgment of Yah upon him. So is there an appointed time? Yes. Yah said they're there, for there's a time and it is appointed. Is the more them appointed? Yes. So how can you alter that and not be a reference of that and understanding of how to determine and know when is the time? We must be. Yah says it's a time of appointment. Appointment for who? Well, we're going to find out what the appointed time is. It is fixed. It is the constitution and the mind of Yah. He is the one with authority. He has established it. And as the old folks would say, quote, He's going to make good, unquote. He's going to make sure that no one misses the appointment. You're late. There's nothing more disturbing to one. Well, I'm only 10 minutes late, but your appointment was at 12. Short noon. And then the one that broke the appointment gets upset. Well, I know that, but I was 10 minutes. It was at 12 noon, ma'am. And they become belligerent, don't they? Yes. You're not going to miss this appointment. What appointment? let me show us what appointment that you're not going to miss. It is called the appointed time, as Hanu. Let me go on verse 4 again. Enoch 22:4. He says, the day of their judgment, Mishpah, the judgment of Yah. And so there is a conjunction there to show us there is another component to judgment, and the appointed time of not just a judgment, but Yah calls it the Gadola. It is a great, impactual judgment. That's why that should be our cry. Correct me, Yah, judgment. That's why we come on the Shabbat on the 7th day, to make sure we're clean, to judge us. And you know what you did last week and the other day. You know how you were, that it was revealed to you your nasty, evil, wicked ways. And stop pretending that you're all righteous. And you know you're not righteous. Because if you walk in the light of your men will see your excellent work, or your asa, the way you formed and the way you fashion and the way you do things. And they will inquire of your Abba. They would. They would ask. And they would know. We're full of our religious flavors. You see that the Baptist, or my friend would say, you still got Mizraim in you, the Baptist way. The Methodist, the self-righteous. There's only one way. In your Baptist way, still in your mind makes it seems right unto you. Your love in your mind seems right to you, but it's not love. It's a damn delusion. Your care in your mind, it seems as though it's care, but it's a damnable lie.
Hallelujah.
And upon the great judgment of them, I want us quickly, Dibari, I want to show you what is the appointed time. I want to read from Torah. And who is this revealed? And well, let me read this, Dibarim 31. And to understand the context of this, go to verse 1. But I'm going to read one verse. Dibarim 31, verse 10. And Moshe commanded them. He was only son to the house of YisraYah'ale. Yeah. And Moshe commanded them. He says, at the end of every 7 years. Our 7th year here, I make sure that we don't plow the field. That doesn't, but I've always seen that after 7 years, it was a great, bountiful, much for us. It has always been that way. This doesn't make us righteous, but he said, I want to show you at the end of every 7 years. What? In the appointed time. What time is that? The time of this great excitement of Jubilee. He said the year of release and the feast of tabernacle. So every 7 years, he said at that time, I want you to read the Torah aloud. I want everyone to hear, because everyone didn't have a book or iPhone like you, all right? And your iPhones have made you lazy as hell, and that you think you know everything, and you don't know it. Yeah. So Yah commanded us there's a time of release. And there's a time, this is the time to release that skullic, lying, violent ways of your corruption out of you. And this is the time of the season. It is the appointed time. At Tabernacle, we have come through an affliction of this great fasting. And then you come to this time because you have searched yourself and your testimony, because it is so true. At the appointed time, it releases you from your lies, from your corruption, from your stubborn, evil, wicked ways. That's what this season and the appointed time is for. He appointed in the beginning. Don't eat the lies of your sins. He calls it matzah. He calls it bread with leaven. And a little leaven, a little lie will make you a liar. I don't care how small the lie is. It's still a lie. And just a little leaven the lump. I know that I got all against him. I can say, well, brother, you know I love you. And you know you don't give a damn about him. You know you got something in your mind against the daughter of YisraYah'ale, and you're not that honest. I have no problem saying to Enoch, I'm stupid. And you that are full of pride, you're going to die with your pride. And your pride's not going to deliver you one damn thing. It's going to open the gates of hell for you. There's an appointment. And Yah says, I want you to understand, you all, YisraYah'ale. After every 7 years, you've kept the feast. And on the 7th year, that's the year of completion, perfection. It's a year of fruit. You know that what has contained you and all of that release, you have a brother, you have one that is a Hebrew Israelite in your servitude of a slave. Release them. You release that thing that have slaved your mind against your brother, against your sister. You got all that. You got animosity. And don't tell me we don't have these damnable things in us. You hold that trash in you. Yes, and at the time read the Torah. Why? Because the Torah will show you and condemn you. And show you you're a damn liar, you're a damn dog, but yet you're self-righteous. I don't care what you feel. A man called me the other day. She had a problem with my language. I said, I got a problem with you calling me here. A great storm has come through our area, and you have the audacity to tell me what I'm saying, and you didn't even say how you're doing, how did you get over the storm. I said, that's a coldness. You have no sense of humankind. I said, there are folks that don't even know y'all that have called and inquired how you're doing. And you're going to call me, I say, tell me the word that I use. That's an insult. Well, you use, you know, you say things that we talk like that in the world. I said, my friend, I didn't talk like what you talk like in the world. I talk with intelligence in the world. And those that I hung around, we debated. We talked about Huey P. We talked about Malcolm. We discussed those kinds of things. When I was in the military, at the kind of the apex of my youth and folly, we didn't go around talking about MF and son of a. We didn't talk like that. We developed a rapport with intelligence, a vocabulary, and we wanted to talk about social things and social events. We read books and we wanted to surprise those that debated us, and we wanted to present ourselves intelligently, that we could talk and articulate in a manner that it was above the reasoning of one that would hear it, that they could not at all deny it. I said, that's the way we were. We didn't tell jokes. I didn't tell jokes growing up. I didn't sit around clowning and laughing. Ha, ha, ha. That wasn't my thing. Those that I with, we were sincere. We walked straight up. We didn't sit around drinking, telling jokes. If we did sip on a little wine or something, we sat around, we discussed affairs, we discussed the plight of people of my hue, we discussed the economics, we discussed the politics of people, and we were best of those that were in command, the Abenathis and the kings and all of that. We understood that their legacies. That's how we talk. But saying mother this and all, I didn't talk like that. And my boys that I hung with didn't talk like that. And the boys that were around me, we weren't out blaring out. I said, it's silly what you're saying, because you have indicted me without understanding the grammar of my speech. And I began to open up words to him. Well, that word, you see that word you use? I said it's a reflective pronoun. You can't get words by me. And if you do, I'm going to do my study. And I'm glad you do. So when I come back the next time, you better be ready. I'm going to take it into a deeper depth. And that's how I learned to be a studious in my activity. That's why I apply the same principle to Torah. I didn't read no crazy books. I read books on the history of the people of my great agony. That's what I read. I've read books by those that were written by men of different hues of skin and different ethnicity to understand. You all read the book Black Like Me? I read that book 30-some years ago. I can't recall the author. But he put dye in his skin that he became black. And he shaved all of his head, he looked just like a black man. And he went all around the United States, especially the rural South, to see if people of my hue were treated any different. And then he wrote the book, it is called Black Like Me. Black Like Me. Those are the things that I read. I didn't sit around watching movies. I had one of those VCRs. That's what it was called, VCR, right? If I rented 10 movies to watch on that, I'd rented 1,000. I never used it. Because I never sat around watching movies. I never liked watching movies. I like sports now. The lads, if I didn't watch that. Basketball, football, racing, and all of that crazy mess. Everything. Track and field, gymnastics, you name it. Volleyball, swimming. That was not one sport I didn't watch. Movies, didn't care for them. Last movie I seen was called Brubaker. You've never even heard of it. Last time I went to a movie, Brubaker. Now they got the demon from hell. I don't know nothing about those movies. Yeah. I want us to hear this. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Yah says to Moshe, these are the times, and this is the time of the season. We're at the appointed time. It says the feast of the tabernacles. Doesn't it say that? Yeah. We're at that time that we should be released. You should be released from all your crazy ways, all your juvenile ways. Yeah. And the reason we can never be released is one reason. Because we don't know how to confess our faults and our sins one to the other. And because of that, you have no effectual fervent prayer. Can I ask you all a question? If I got together with us and said we're going to pray, Yah calls a storm to go past us. Yah calls a storm. That's not prayer. It is the effectual. It is a fervent. It is a prayer that burns. It's not you getting with 3 or 4 minutes or a minute and praying. It is a prayer that burns in your heart. It is a supplication of weeping and crying. That is effectual prayer. Yes. And Yah says it avails much. Yes. You're going to get with someone, y'all will have a prayer hour. It's bullshitting. You're so self-righteous, you think it's of great value. Yeah. Can I ask us all a question? Yeah. Will you answer it? Don't answer me. I want you to answer in your mind. Was that prayer of Yeshua in Gethsemane effective and fervent? Don't answer me, y'all. You ever prayed like that? What about the sweat off you? It was like great drops of. You see how damn hypocritical we are? Yes. We're liars. We lie to ourselves. We lie to impress ourselves with me. Yes. She'll try to embarrass me. I said this morning, I'll tell the story to you. I said, what are those big bumps on my back? She said, well, you talking about these here? Ah, you know better than that. As I could see them in the mirror, I said, come on. She said, okay, here, you talking about this? Ah, you do me like that, huh? I said, come on up. Look, move back. Those big, you see the big knots up there? Are they soft or hard? She said, this right here is soft. You have to get away from me. I don't need a friend like that. Oh, these are soft here. No! Come on up the back. You can't go up the back and come back down there? You see, we want that delusion of me. You can't look at that until you look at that back there. When you get that tight and right, then we can move on up the road, all right? Y'all call her a heifer. Don't write me, I'm not misogynist, all right? Y'all calls us like a backslid heifer. He calls us the heifer. Yes. A heifer is clean. A heifer's never touched the bull. A heifer doesn't even know the way. And that's why she had trouble when she dropped a calf. A heifer has never been scarred. A heifer is clean. That's what she is. That's what a heifer is. she becomes a cow. Different ball game. She drops some babies, all right? Let's get real. Let's quit being charged, all right? Yah says at that time, and we're at that time, we must be released. You release yourself from the bondage and the lies of your own captivity that you think is of great value, but it's just a scant of abomination. It has no value at all, none whatsoever. Now, I want to discuss this for a moment. The appointed, as that in the appointed time. Sharach, quickly. Go to the writings of the teacher, the Nobi Sharach. Move quickly. Sharach 48. Sharach 48 and verse 9. I'm going to begin reading. This is an expression of the northern kingdom, the northern and the southern YisraYah'ale and Yahudah. Listen to what Sharach says here in verse 9. It says, you were taken up by a whirlwind of fire in the chariot of the horses of fire. Who was that? That was Elijah. It was him. He says in verse 10, look at that. Who was ordained? He was ordained. Yah appoints every man. They ordained. Who was ordained at the appointed time? Yes. Was Yeshua ordained at the appointed time? Yes. Did he ordain this feast day at the appointed time? Yes. To make you search out your wicked heart and you release yourself from that. You see the appointed time? Yah says, was it not ordained at the appointed time? He said, not only was it ordained as a comment there, he said, it is written. Yeah. It was ordained, it's the scripture written of Yeshua for the appointed time. It's the book written of him. So is Elisha. So is the prophet Elijah. He said he was taken up. He did not see death, did he? No. Death had no power over Yeshua. He did not feel the stress and the corruption of death because he was not corrupt. In his body, his true body is not going to see that. And that's why we need to understand why Yah gave us signs. He appointed the Lord them that we can search out ourselves and see what is in me and see if it's approved of Yah. You can play. You can pretend. You can be self-righteous. But that was the appointed time. Yah appointed that time. And when Yah makes an appointment, no one changes that. You don't change your appointment. He made that appointed time. Boom. It was set. Yes. Before the earth was formed. Before you were formed in the belly of your Imah. That's him. Yah ordained. He ordained you for death and hell. He ordained you for life and light in Yeshua. Yeah. Well, that feels wrong to me. How much wrong do you do when you think you're right and you know you're a hypocrite? That's two things. I don't want to be a liar and a hypocrite. I've always been, I don't want to be a liar, Yah. I want to say just like it was. I don't want to add no words. And I don't want to pretend. Doing every kind of violent thing there is, every kind of lie. Sleeping with every woman, touching the daughters of men. I don't want to live like that. And I've never lived like that. I've never been a hypocrite. And I've never been a liar. I've never purported things and told lies to be telling lies. But that ain't what happened. That's exactly what happened. Be honest with all men. That's how you live honest. And then you especially do a particular favor unto YisraYah'ale. There are not that many of his true house. And that's a fact. All those that once met me, they said they loved me, didn't they? But they don't love me no more. Did they all walk with Yeshua? Did they all turn away from him? Yes. And then the only way that they understood the power, when he got by the grave, then he opened their labor. Unless Yah used a man to open you will be a blind jackass and a stupid fool all your life. When he got up, then he opened their eyes. Yes. He opened their minds, their labor. And he didn't tell them the little sweet things either. That's what we like. You quote your good brother, quote your good sister. She's not. Forgive me, I apologize. She is a God to herself. Let me move on, all right? This is what Sharach says. Look what he says in verse 10. Sharach 48. Who was ordained at the appointed time It is written. What were they ordained for? To claim the wrath of Yah before it breaks out in fury. To turn the heart of the Father to the Son. To what? Restore the tribes of Yaakov. To restore YisraYah'ale. That's what it's for, people. Blessed are those who saw you and those who have been adorned in your love, Elijah. And I want the love of this crooked generation. Told them, you liars, y'all's going to kill you all. That's love. So he said that blessed are those that saw you go up, and those that were adored in your love for Yah. But you did not see death, but you were transfigurated. That's the same thing to us. We don't see the mavis and the mood. We just fall asleep. Going to sleep one day. Waiting on Yeshua. Yeah, I'm going to go to sleep. That's it. We don't seek death because there's a terror to death. And no one cares you. How do you know? Because nobody's come back and told me but Yeshua. And the book tells me. Hallelujah. He says in verse 11, blessed are those who saw you and those who have been adorned in love. When you adorn yourself, you see that, right? When you dress yourself up, you see it, right? When you adorn yourself, when you clothe yourself. So if you clothe in love, somebody's going to see it. You clothe in hypocrisy, somebody's going to see it. No one, husband or wife, asking, what's wrong with you? Am I? What's your problem? Not you. Stupid. I am mature. That's me. And then when I answered, I said, baby, I'm just, I don't know. Just help me. Just hug me. Just put your arms around me. And we're afraid to say that because we don't know how to do that. But just hug me. Hug me. It'll make me feel better. Just hug me. Just put your arms around me. Squeeze me. Don't look at me. You come here. Just, I'll just go and say, baby, just, I don't feel nice. Just help me, please. That gets favor there. Yes, it does. Silly. We're not silly boys. We're men. Come, baby, will you just smell me? See, what do you think? Help me, please. Oh, I can't walk. She's for you, 300 pounds. Please help me. Just, oh, take me. Help me, please. Yeah. Yes, sirree. Yes, sirree. Yes, sirree. I can't walk. Massage me. Just help. Oh, please. What's wrong with that? Let me move on. He said, if we understand what Elijah, we are blessed, we saw him, those that are adorned in love, for we shall surely live. We're going to live. And there's one greater than Elijah. And then we see him. How do I see him? Greater, no greatest, he that is in you, Yeshua. He's in my daughter Zion, my brother of the great way. Greater is his love, his kindness on you and in me. We don't see that in each other. That's sad because we're stupid. We're dumb. My people are selfish. And that's the way we is. It's not just about eating bread and eating it, having a fish fry. The appointed time, Chanuk, Habakkuk, Habakkuk, Shabacha, Shabucha, Habakkuk. Habakkuk gives us a stern warning and an exhortation in Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 1. This is what this messenger says. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 1. He said, I will stand upon my Mishreach. Yeah. I'm going to stand upon my watch. You have not charged me. You did not call me out of the cauldron of darkness and sin. You are not the one that released me from the bondage and the power of sin. I'm going to stand upon my watch. He has given me a watch. I will stand upon my watch. And he said, not only that, I will station myself upon the great tower. YHWH my rush, the tower where I can see everything. And I will watch to see what Yah will say to me. And then he says, and what I shall answer. This is a messenger, isn't he? I will watch to see what Yah shall say to me. When? When? What happens? When I am when he rebukes me. Any messenger of Yah must be rebuked. He must hear. I must hear what the men of Yah say. He said, what should I say? He said, I can't say nothing. I shall answer when I am reproved. Does it say that? Yeah. I will answer when Yah rebuke me. I'm going to stand, Yah. I know I need rebuking. And this is a dumb jackass of a generation. There are men that think that they're smart. I'm 70 years old. You're still dumb. I'm 65. You're still stupid. This is a messenger that you're allowed to write unto us. I'm going to stand upon my watch. Nobody's going to deter me. But I'm going to stand for one thing, to listen to what God says when he rebukes me. Because I know I haven't been thorough. I know I haven't carried it out. And we such self-righteous devils. I will, my friend, appreciate that. You hear everything about Yah today but truth. Yes. This man, a messenger of Yah, Habakkuk, he says, when I am reproved. Then he says, when Yah when he corrects me. Not only that, when Yah chastises me, but tokehas me when he punishes me. Because I'm going to pay for my sins, just like all of us. Then he says in verse 2, and Yah answered me. And he said unto me, write the Hazon. I want you to write the vision. And I want you, he said, and make it plain upon the tables. He said, I want you to write it in a way that everybody can understand. Yeah. Make it plain upon the table. He said, why? That he may roots, he may run that reads it. Even if you read that, you ought to run. Even if you read the Torah, you ought to run to see what it is going to be. For the vision, for the Harun, for the Hazon, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. See, there's a time. There's a time. It is a mu'adah. It is a mu'adah. It is for an appointed time. It is to be met. You will meet that by appointment. There's a time that it has been mu'adah. It is set. It is an appointment that those in that time shall see the hazon and they shall understand the vision. But yet now they have the ability to read. Let them roots. Let them run and not get tired and not get weary. We must run this race. You're not walking this race. You have to run to see what the end shall be. That's why he gives us times appointed so we can refuel. Refuel the fruit. Refuel that testifying openly. Refuel that mind of YHWH HaMashiach. We're dead because of our sins. And no life in us. And I will not teach us smooth things to make you wallow in your self-righteous wickedness. I will not. For an appointed time. Look what he says. But at the end, it's going to speak, don't worry. And it shall not lie. You can lie all you want to. It shall not lie. Though it tarries, though it doesn't come when you think it shall. He said, wait for it. Because it will surely come. Don't worry, it's not going to happen. It's going to come. And that's a fact. Behold, behold. He says the nefesh, the being, what I am, the breath of me, which is lifted up is not upright in him. See, it's not right in us. That's what lifts you up. Yeah. Well, I'm going to be good to all people. But you don't give a damn about YisraYah'ale.
True. Hallelujah.
Now those that will go to some of the whole house of praise because there's not going to be any kind of retribution. You come here, there's retribution.
Yes.
You need to get cleaned up.
Hallelujah.
Put on some nice clean clothes.
Yeah.
They're not going to come here. For those that have come, you don't see them. No! Many years you've seen a few. They don't come back. They don't want to hear truth. And you think you've given them something to sustain them? You're silly. You're silly. That's why he appoints the Shabbat. It is a time for a sign to show you you're not what you think you is. You got a lot of You got a lot of that deluge in you. You got a lot of that in you. You got some deluge derech. Your ways are stinky, stinky, winky, wonky. That's right. That's plain truth.
Yeah.
You can't get any plainer than the simple message of God. Every appointment I brought, Yah appointed. Hasn't he? We're going to finish it. Don't worry. Hallelujah. He said, but the Sadiq, I want to be right. If I got a problem with you, I'll tell you, better me, get out of my face. Granny said he read over the dead old sweaty, nasty face. Of course, mine was sweaty nasty too. You won't get by me. Put that old sweaty face. Well, no, come on. No, but yeah. Come on. Put it up. Sweaty and dirty as mine. His face was as sweaty, dirty as mine. Oh, I'm so dirty. This is the hypocrisy that we carry on with. You sweaty. He hugged me. Bless you, my friend. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. But the Sadiq shall live by his. We that are righteous that live by his. Amen. Your faith is not worth a damn. It's not worth a nickel. It's not worth a damn thing. Your faith cannot pray for you, but his faith will heal me. Your faith is afraid, but his measure shall sustain me. We that are just, we're going to live by his imuna. Why? Because he appointed us to live by that. He appointed us to live by that. We have the same thing that those on Mars here. Can I read this? Let me read it. I want you all to just listen. Lift your hands up. Don't worry about reading. Just listen to this, and I tell you I read, and then I will get back to play. It says here that Shaul, he stood in the midst of Mars Hill with those. He preached unto them. He declared the power of Hamashiach, but he knew that they were superstitious. Oh, baby, don't open that umbrella in the house. You gotta get a black cat and walk over here and tie his tail. Oh, don't be silly. I'm old enough to remember those kind of silly things. The people pass that on to their children.
Yes.
They don't play with me. I've been around. I'm 68. Well, when I was 15 years old, I whipped the fire out of you in basketball. I could outbox you, play golf better than you, swim better than you, and I was just as bright as you. Probably brighter. So that means nothing. That's no weight at all. Because you have gray hair and gray beard, that doesn't mean you're wise. You're just a gray-headed fool and a gray-bearded fool. That's all you is. Period. He called the young men because they're strong. They know the way. They've overcome the wicked one. I'm glad we got a few young men here. I'm glad we got some. That's right. That's right. I'm glad some few young men. You're still a young man. I'm glad we got some young men here. That's right. I can see what people don't like you. You disturb my car. But look at what, I want you to hear what Shabu says. And the times, and the times of our ignorance, we were dumb, we were stupid, we didn't know the ways of Yahweh, we were self-righteous. So at the time of our ignorance, we lacked the knowledge or the intelligence to understand truth. Yah, he winked. Now we think that he winked his eye. That's a sin. Well, there are those that say if you do certain things on a Shabbat, it's sin. That's so stupid. These are old wise things. But that doesn't mean when Yah says he winked, he just kind of overlooked. He saw it, he said, you're not getting by, but I'm not turning my head. Yeah. That doesn't mean like he was doing what a man does or a woman does. Women weak at men, and men weaken women. And these are old, wise, stupid fairy tales, traditions of religious people, and they hold on to lies. Yes. You must prove all things about Torah. Yeah. So Yah, that time, he winked. He looked at me and said, boy, you're in bad shape. Yah winked, he overlooked, he winked at it. But now he commands all men everywhere to repent, make Teshuwah. We must repent. We must change our way. There must be a new identity. Yeah. He wants us to repent. Why? Why? Because he has his day. He has appointed a day. Not some days. Not a few days. He has appointed a day. He has appointed a day in which he shall judge the world in his righteousness. And by that man, the man of wisdom, whom he has ordained, by which he has given assurance. Yahshua gives such assurance. Yeah. To who? To all men. To all men. Give assurance to all men, and that he has raised him from the dead. Acts 17, the 17th chapter, read it all. He has appointed one day. Is a moed of Yah one day? Yet that's all it is. The tabernacle, there is one Shabbat. And there's one great day. There's one Shabbat. Yeah. He gives us time to enjoy each other, to rest in the comfort of love, and to share, to dine, to eat the figs, to eat with each other. Yeah. We're crazy, man. We're crazy people. That's why that we said in sin, my mother conceived me. I gotta have him a baby. Make him love me. Babies doesn't make a man love you, woman. No. Well, I'm gonna have him a baby. He's gonna marry me. You had him a baby, didn't you? Marriage wasn't much of a marriage. And love ain't much of love. You marry him because you want the strength of his rush. You want the wisdom of his strength. And he will convey that to you in his touch, his tenderness, his embracing. He will, even when he fuss and he talks. Sure will. That's why you let him find you.
Yeah.
You're going to find a daughter of Zion. Don't let your lust find him. Don't let just getting in bed find him. A man finds a wife, he finds a tough thing. And that man, not only does he have favor, but Yah has barak him. Don't let your emotions get the best of you. Don't let your feelings. I need a man to love me. Hell, the one you had didn't love you. I want a woman to take care of me. The one you had didn't take care of you. Come on, man. Let's get real, woman. Come on. Your understanding of love is crazy. What you think is love, that doesn't mean it's love. Have I preached that's love here?
Yes.
You see, that ain't love, though. But that's what Yah says, doesn't he?
Yes.
Your baby doesn't understand when... I watched the other day the mother correct the child, and so I said, I did it to her. No, she did it. I said, don't do that. So when she saw me doing that, she started busting out laughing like. And when that was so, they just laughed their heads off and said, don't do that. And so they began to do me. And do it while I'm here. How about that?
Yeah.
In the midst of all those superstitious people, Shaul brought out something that's so profound. He has ordained. And he has appointed a day. He's going to judge you. Yeah. I'm so glad that past Kippur, Kafar, as he's praying, he covers us. Yeah. The high priest is the only one that can make an atonement of covering for our sin. He brought it out so beautifully. True. So he covers us. And so we can go into this time released from everything. Hallelujah. Released from me, from my corrupt ways. Yeah. And what you do, you do things you don't normally do. You greet the brother you don't normally, or the sister you take your time with. That's how you do it. That's right. Hallelujah. Be studious about it. Hallelujah. Can I go a little further? Yeah. I'll tell you where this is. This is the command that God gave to Moshe in the writings of Jubilee. I'm going to preach all these today. That's yeah. I don't know how many teachers I have, but does it all make sense? Yes. Does it all add up to the same appointed, appointment? Yeah. Every verse I read will clarify even the more. Let's turn to Jubilees. Jubilees chapter 2, verse 1. I want to begin reading. This is your commanded Moshe to give us a written, not an oral, writings of the history of creation. I want to show us something here in Jubilees, chapter 2, verse 1. And the Melech of the presence spoke to Moshe, not according to his demand, he spoke according to the word of Yah, saying, independent, separate clause, but identifies with the first. Write the complete history of creation. That's what he said, all right? Yeah. How in 6 days, Almighty Yahweh finished all his works. 6 days he finished. Yeah. And all of his creation. And he Shema, he K-E-P-T, he kept the Shabbat on the 7th day and made it Kodesh for not some of the ages, but for all ages. Yeah. You don't do a damn thing. I don't care if your chicken dies, let it rot, and after the Shabbat go bury it. You don't do that on the Shabbat. You don't expedite the Shabbat to participate in anything. I don't give a damn what it is. He made it Kadosh. It is Kodesh. It is set apart. You don't participate. If we do that, we're wicked. I don't care who you are. You are flat out evil. I'll prove it. He made it to be Kodesh. Not for some ages, but for all ages. Look what it says now. And does it say appointed? Yes. He used the words amans. He appointed it, that it will stand despite. It's going to remain the way he appointed it. If it's going to endure, I don't care what it is. You don't incorporate any activities in the Shabbat. You don't incorporate exterior plans in the Shabbat. You don't incorporate things that defy the Shabbat, because that day is appointed that we meet him. You let nothing impede you from the Shabbat, not the job, not family, not school, nothing. That's one of the first things I did. Began to honor the Shabbat. I wrote letters to jobs, and they gave them the Shabbat off. I was discussing that with my Ish, no, I was discussing it with his son. I said, you know, son, Your father has never had problems when it comes to the feast days of Shabbat. I said, I remember when he worked up here in Monroe, the man tried to give him a problem, and he called me. And I said, when I finished with that man, not only was he apologetic to me, but he was so apologetic to him. I said, because they have to understand you're real. Know that what you say. It has impact. And that man, all he knew was, I said, your father, why? Because he never laid out of work. He had sick days and all of that kind of stuff. He never was a shyster on his job. I said, he's never had that. I said, there's never been a time, all these years, he's never had problems. Taking off. We said, whoa, you can't take off. You say, Ray, I need the dates. I was like, here they are always. I'll honor his employer and get him there on time, right? Take this, I'll write a letter to him and show them. I say, he's never done that. He's never had any problem with that. Never! He put it there, the Shabbat. It's meant for one thing, Shabbat. Rest. Do nothing but rest. Sundown, sundown. You don't participate in anything that's evil to promote some damn evil flesh. I don't care if it's your grandbaby, your great-great-great-uncle. You don't participate. That's evil. That the command of darkness will make you say, damn y'all, or he cuts y'all. Go to hell. That's what you say. Can I ask you something, mothers and fathers? When you said, child, do that, and the child didn't do, was hard-headed, was he not saying to you, she said, damn you? Sure, that's what they were saying. They were hard-headed. And you would say a hard head makes a soft butt, too. Now let's get real. So we don't give a damn what he says. We're hard-headed. We do it our way. He says, Zakah HaShabbat Shema. Keep it holy. Forgive me. Zakah HaShabbat. Damn holiness. You keep it set apart. I don't care what comes, what goes. You keep it set apart. Oh, what if my ox fall on a ditch? You don't have an ox, jackass. What about my car? You don't need to go nowhere. Wait till the Shabbat. You break down this. You break down here, stay here. We got to please you. Rest your head and eat well. And after Shabbat, we have to get it going. He means what he says, nation. We better stop this mess. We better stop integrating our will and our sins. Yeah. He appointed. Did it say that? Yes. He is the one nation. He appointed it. He appointed it as a what? Sign. Yeah. As an oath for what? For all his work. That's what the Shabbat is for. It's an appointment by Yah. That you can look up in the heaven and say, wow, the seventh day he rested. Yes. You look at the winter and see the leaves fall and say, my, what a great king he is. Yes. You look at the depths of the deepest of the ocean and say, my. And that's just a fact. He appointed it. Did he appoint the feast day? Yes. Did he appoint everything I've read? Yes. So do we defy that? When the doctor tells you, I got an appointment for you, if you can't make it, you call him, don't you? I know I would do it with that honor. Yes. That day. I don't care what is the doctor appointment? He got an appointment. If I tell someone I will be there this time and know I'm going to be late, that time I go to Charlotte, I want to get a haircut. I said, Joe, I'll be there. Give me, I used to tell my insurance when I go, please give me 10, 15. Give me 8 and 8. And I'm out at that time. She's sitting there waiting. When I come back, most times she's asleep. Give me 15 and 5. 15, I can take care of everything. 5 minutes to get out, go to the line. I'll be here. But we cannot substitute Yah's day that even he rested on. He didn't cook no damn fried chicken. He didn't make no buffalo wings. He rested. Yeah. You don't fry up your hamburger, you rest. He rested. You don't go no grocery shop, he rested. And he marveled, that's what the Shabbat is for. Just, wow, look at Yah. As old folks say, he's been tough to me. Ain't he been tough? That's what the Shabbat is for. We don't do it during the course of the week. Yeah. And so he set aside this day. let the world do it. They're going to hell anyway. And you're going to go right along with them. You can't miss his appointment. I can miss the doctor's appointment. I was calling the other day about some telephone poles. Oh boy, it was hard to catch up with you. He said, yes, indeed it is. Boss man, I need some telephone poles. I got them. How much you want them? $1 a foot? Cut them for you and everything. I said, what's the average length? He said, about 30 foot. Now you're 30 feet. So, okay, that's something, $30. That ain't bad for a telephone pole. Well, paying $15, $20 back in the day when we came here, so that. As I tell you what I want to do, I want to build a nice corral from a cow. So when I shoot them down in there, make it about 10, 12 foot long, when they get down there, they ain't going nowhere. We need to cut horns, we can do that. You understand? I'm going to build that after the feast days. He said, I got them for you. That's all right then. He said, when you want them? I said, I don't want them this week now, but I'll call you, boss man. I'll call you. I'll buy them at that price this time. This time. But you're going to do better. When I see you, I get a better deal. Guarantee you that. Watch. Where you cut them things? Well, you chainsaw. You ain't got no chainsaw. I said, yeah, but I'll get you to cut them for me. I'm not going to tear about chainsaw. I'll get you to cut them. I'll cut them for you. Well, how much you cut them for? God gives us favor, folks. You know, yeah, quite busy. Yes, I am. Busy. I'm busy too, man. But I made sure that I will confirm the appointment. Yeah. I didn't tell him when I would get that next week or I said I will confirm it. And truth in us confirm the appointments of Almighty Yah, all right? Yeah. He says he did that for an appointment and a sign throughout all of our ages. Drop down to verse 9 quickly of Jubilees. And I'll ask you a question. Can I go back to verse 1. You see that word APPOINTED in verse 1. That's appointed, right? Yes. Yeah. Put your finger there, not your finger, but just hold. I just want to ask you something. Let's go to verse 9. I will keep my finger there too. Look what it says in verse 9. And Yah appointed the Son. Does the Son change? No. Is it in his position? Yes. Does it say in verse 1, he appointed the Shabbat for all ages? Yeah. Does that change? Yeah. Does the Son ever move itself? It doesn't move itself. The Son is appointed. And he appointed the Son to be a great sign. Did he appoint the Shabbat? He appointed it as a sign for all his work. Yes. He appointed what? The Shabbat. He appointed the Shabbat as a sign for all his work. He didn't appoint the Son. SHUA. He appointed the Shabbat. SHABBAT. The Shabbat, the Shabbat, for the sign. To let you know he did it. Yeah. He appointed the Shabbat. He appointed the Shabbat. He did not appoint the Son. He appointed the Shabbat. He made the Son for man. But he didn't make the Shabbat. He didn't make man for the Shabbat. He made it for him. That he may understand his beauty. And you appointed the Son for a great sign on the earth. He appointed the Shabbat for a great sign. For how long? Forever. Has he ever darkened the sun where they could not see the sun? Sure he has. Yes. But he's never allowed us to make altercations to the Shabbat or the Moedim of Yah. Never. He said for the day, he says he appointed the sun to be a great sign on the earth for the days. When it rises and when it goes down, you know that it's time. For what? He says Shabbats, doesn't he? Yeah. For the Moedim, the feast day. For the months and for the feast day. Don't tell me about no lunar Shabbats. He makes the sun rise. Yes. And then we will know the day as the moon sets itself. He says for the years, for the Shabbats of the years, for the Jubilees and for the all seasons of the year. He says it governs everything. It governs everything. You need sun. You need the moon and the sun. But you know, if we had to go without one, we can't go without either one because we need that. Yes. Because that's what the word moon is, Kodesh. Not Kodesh, but Chodesh. And it means, if you look at the lexicon, the word imply, it is the slither of the word. It means Chodesh. I'm a student. You know everything. I don't. I learn things. That's what he says. And it says this, and it divides the light from the darkness. See, that's what it does. When the night season comes, you know that the day of Yah begins. It divides the light from the darkness and the prosperity, and all things may prosper which shoot and grow on the earth. She's a bad boy, the son. He's a bad boy. Things don't grow and shoot out in darkness. You cannot grow carrots when it's dark. They become dormant. They must, the S-U-N, because it represents the power of the S-O-N, must shine the earth. He says there are three kinds. These three kinds he made on the fourth day. He made that on the fourth day. He made man on the first day. And on the day of perfection, he rested. Listen to me, you all. I don't care if your grandmama having a party on the Shabbat. Don't go. I don't care if your son going back to school. Don't throw it back on the Shabbat. You wait till the sun goes down. It's evil and it's wrong. It's evil and it's wrong. If you go do something on the Shabbat, listen. Set your son down, let him listen. Let your mom and all your rest and just talk. And eat the wonderful meal and get on the rest. And then after the sun goes down, then you do your thing. Hell, you get fried chicken, pork chop, and all. You don't work. That's evil. And now we don't think when we defy Yah with such a blatant thing, well, I know it's the Shabbat, but that's evil. That's evil. Well, I know that's my wife, but I'm going to steal there, but she looks fine. I know that's my husband over there, but I like the way he talks to me. Is that evil? Same thing with the Shabbat. No. It's no different. We don't know what to do, tell me do it not, it's a sin. You know that he says, Zakah Shabbat Shalal Chadosh. You know what he means. Yes. You remember that you zakah, you let that be taken in your mouth. You do nothing of this. Nothing! Now buy and sell. You don't do those kinds of things. Hallelujah. You don't have no fish from the Shabbat. Wait till after the Shabbat, you for how fish you want. But don't do it during this day of light. During that time. Don't do it, nation. You're evil if you do it. I don't care who you are. See, you're so self-righteous you think it's all right. See, your own righteous ways got you so damn delusional, you think it's all right to do it. That's how we think. Well, it's all right. Your damn evil ways got you so delusional, you think it's all right, I can do this. It doesn't. Well, you know, we can start at 5. No, it's still daylight. Wait till 7 or 8. That's evil when we think. You don't realize how evil. And we think we're going into the kingdom. We say, damn you, Yah. Damn the Shabbat. I say that because I know the context I'm in. We say, damn your feast days. My baby is having a dance-off in school. You don't say, damn the dance-off, don't make your baby. That's right. It's going to make your baby a hoe. True. Shaking her ass. You can go to hell with that with me. You can get by with your preacher friend, but not with me. I'm going to stand in judgment just like you. Y'all going to say, you said the word damn. Yes, sir, I did. That's all right, son. I said it too. And that they all might be damned. Why? Because they didn't have the love of the truth. Hallelujah. And the Shabbat. He didn't tell you to remember how to honor your father and mother. He says, remember the Shabbat. Hallelujah. That's the only one he tells us to remember. You can get crazy all you want to. It is Yah's appointment. And I ain't going to do it. I don't care if I go somewhere. I ain't going nowhere and buy nothing on the Shabbat. I was going to rest. I was going to sit on my butt. That's all I was going to do. When it get dark, all right. I may start out at the break of that sun with it's setting. When I get there, it's dark. All right? I don't care what sit I've been in, that's the way I do it. Hallelujah. You all going to bear with me? All right. Let me move forward. He says, you know, it prospers, and we read that. Let me move quickly to Nehemiah. Yahweh, you know, everybody thinks that he's appointed. But Yah appoints the messengers. Yahshua, before he ascended, he descended, and he appointed gifts unto men. Every man doesn't have that gift. How many ball players can play ball like LeBron James? His daddy anointed him. How many ballers can shoot like Steph Curry? their father anointed them. Because everything they do is for the pleasure of sin.
Yes.
They play ball on the Shabbat, they whore, they do all that. That doesn't take away from one's, what we call his work. But his work's going to be burned by fire. That means nothing to Jan. I'm not going to esteem him. They do. I've never heard any of those ball players. This is the projection of the world. Give a commitment to their wives and all of that. They're traveling all over the world, every city. You think LeBron James been faithful to his wife?
No.
You're as silly as they come. They showed a picture of this this Brazilian woman. That was his thing, but he's just smooth with it. He's just sharp with it, as you would say. You understand? You think so? We're silly. He talks about his school and all of that. His sons. But you never hear him. I've never even said, the breath of my life is my wife, my commitment. And we get all blown and crazy about someone like that. Marveling him. You have never, I have never heard him say that. That my wife, even when she was my girl in school, there was a commitment that was undefiable. I knew I loved her. Well, he gives us gifts. Well, the kind of money he got, he's going to make $1 billion from Nike. What? Buying her a Lamborghini? What is that? It doesn't mean nothing. I'd rather give my wife all of my love and faithfulness and commitment and my true heart than to buy her freedom Lamborghini.
Hallelujah.
And I can stand before you and say, you know, I live honorable by her. And your Torah Mishnah 31 is true. I had no need of nothing else. I didn't look. I didn't have to. Because you gave me that wife. But they picked him up. Oh, look at his school. Okay. The whole, like they call the woman Beyonce. You think these individuals don't? I wouldn't even go into that far, young minds. We are stupid, silly people that reverence them more than we show great respect for God.
Hallelujah.
That's what we will do. Moving quickly. Nehemiah chapter 6 verse 7. Look what Yah says here. See, that must be an appointment for a man to speak as a true messenger of Yah. Look what he says here. He says to Nehemiah, Nehemiah chapter 6 verse 7. And you, this is what the Nabi says, and you, Yah, have also, oh man, you're the one that raised me up. You're the one that caused me to come forward.
Yeah.
You're the one that made me appear before the people. He said, for you have appointed. You have appointed prophets to preach of you at Jerusalem. Now, not your mama, not an organization, not because your great-great-granddaddy started a place and handed it down like T.D. Jakes and all these liars. But he said, you have appointed. You are the one that homage. You're the one that raised him up. And you are the one that established him, that he may declare your Torah in Jerusalem. Saying, there is a melech, there's a king, a teacher of Yehuda. And now shall it be reported to the melech according to these words. Come now, therefore, and let us take counsel together. Come now, the prophet, the messenger said. Come now, king, and let us take counsel of the word of Yah. Come on, you rulers. You rule your own self. You're the one that rules your mind. You don't allow the word of Yah to rule our minds. Come now, the word says, and let us, Musa, let us counsel, let us correct each other. It will correct you every time.
Hallelujah.
You will not correct the word will correct you every time.
Hallelujah.
He is the one that appoints. I'm not appointed because of your likes or dislikes. The people have loved me one day and hated me the next. It makes no difference. Those that have embraced me one moment and he's doing wrong, tell me I'm wrong. It's not amazing people can tell you when you're wrong, but they can tell you you're wrong. I haven't stole one damn nickel from you. I've not abused y'all's money in any way, in any fashion, any form. I haven't. I haven't touched a door of your son. Mr. Bishop does not touch your son. Not touch your wife or anyone. I've lived honorably among the people. I've lived with integrity. It's not my integrity, it's his integrity. It's the truth of Torah that corrects me all the time. I've not looked at your wife strange and trying to discover her figure, her breasts. No. I can confess that. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. He appoints the Nobi. He appoints the messengers of Yah. Yes. You can be mom appointed or Church of God in Christ appointed. It means nothing. And you were a bunch of jackass clowns anyway. Yes. All you did and all they do in those men, they get together just to eat. And eat like dogs. That's all they do. Eat, eat, eat. You know something is wrong. We will eat together at this appointed time. Quickly, one more time. I've got to go back to Jubilees. I'm not going to finish this, but I'll try. Let's go back to Jubilees quickly. Hurry up. Jubilees 1532. This is how he has elected us. It is so special. It is beyond words of expression. Look what he says in Jubilees 15, verse 32. This is what Yah says to Abraham. He says, but over YisraYah'ale, he did not appoint any melach. He did not appoint what we call Gabriel over us. They watch for us. YHWH, he did not appoint a melach or just any spirit. You understand? Yeah. He didn't appoint the spirit of, if I may use, I will thuggery or callous. He didn't appoint no kind of spirit over us to rule over us. He alone. He alone. He alone is our ruler. Yes. He alone. Yeah. He going to put a host of Malachim around us. He alone. Yeah. His word. The revelation of Yahshua, ruler, is our ruler. And he will preserve them and record them at the hand of the Malachim and the Spirit. That these are mine. You guard my truth. You guard my ways. I am the ruler. You're not the ruler. You just guard it. That's what he did for us. And at the hand of all powers and order, that what? He's going to preserve us. Yeah. It is Yahshua that preserved them. Yes. And blessed them. He's the one that berach us, nation. Why? That they may be his and he may be theirs. Li'olam viad, from henceforth forevermore. Yeah. He did not appoint me to rule over his wife, but he appointed me. He has. That when he's gone, that I will make sure that the spirit is right and the balance is right here. Not to walk in his house and to check out his house and to look around his house and see what is his house and lay down in his bed. He appoints me when he leaves. Ruach. Make sure the Ruach is right here now. I don't want no hell here. I come home, I'm working hard. I want it to be about the stipulations of God. Yeah. I mean that. So that's all Yah said if I may use that kind of general synopsis of everything. Yeah. He said, I'm the head. I appointed myself. But I put the melach of the messengers to make sure they abide where? In my ways. In my truth. I am their ruler. And if you can't hear my messenger, hell, you can't hear Yah. And that's a fact. Let nobody trick you. Yah talk to me, you damn liar. Someone says to me, I know they're lying. And I tell men, hold on. That man who came recently, I tell you, that's a lie. Yah's not talking to you. He's not talking to you, liar. He didn't come back. Because I don't play with men. I don't play with men. I don't play with women. As no woman can ever say he played with me. Since I've been in this way, no one can ever say that. Never. Never! He flirted with me. Touched me wrong. She's a lying devil. She's not even a dog. Quickly for us, I want to show you something here. I want to show you this very powerful expression of YHWH, his works. That the works, as this man reminds us, are Kohan. Moshe, Yah commanded him to write the history of creation. He didn't command YHWH because he is the creation. Yeah. But look what Shaul says here in Hebrews 3:1. Look at this quickly. Wherefore, he writes unto the Kodesh Achim, brethren, we're partakers of the calling of the Shema, of the heavenly calling. He says, I want you to consider, think about Shurish Kohan, Gadol, of our confession. I want you to think of the mighty one of our confession. He gives us his name, comma, Yeshua HaMashiach. Yeah. He said, who was faithful? Who was faithful? Yeah. Does it say that? Yeah. To him that appointed. Yeah. So was he faithful to him that appointed? Yeah. Is the Moed faithful to Yah that appointed? Yeah. People telling you can't keep the Moedim that died with, that's a lie. True. Yeshua was faithful to him that appointed, that Po'iho, that appointed, established, solidified, made strong him. He said also now, as also Moshe was faithful in all of his bayat. For this man, Yeshua, was counted worthy of more kabod than Moshe. Yeah. He was counted of great substance than Moshe. Yeah. And yet they both was of the same faithfulness. They live by Yah's faith. In so much as he has built the bayat, has more honor than the house. He's building us. We are the composition of the house. And he is more honorable than the house. And that's what the Moedims are for. They are appointed like he was appointed. Is to give Torah and to see the great enterprise of Yah in us. And we need to stop our crazy ways, people. Yeah. We better get it right. Yeah. I'm not going to be a part of the fellowship. Yet you'll go to a damn dirty family reunion every day, stay all day, around wicked, nasty, funky people. Go to hell, man. And I mean that. And yet there is no pleasure fellowshipping with you. I'd rather be around Dawid. That's a lie. You can't, not me. Verse 4. For every bayat is built by some man. Yeah. But he that builds all things is Yah. I'd rather receive this counsel of Yah. He builds all things. I don't build no... you have never heard me say, I did this. I would be lying. I'll be telling you flat out lie. We did this. This is not mine. My name is nowhere associated with this. This belongs to you. It does. I don't want it. I own nothing here. I can. They know what the deeds and all that is. There's nothing on that deed that says I own anything. And they can put me over if I get crazy. I say gonna get crazy. I'm too old. And I say gonna lose my mind either. I'm too old. I can do nothing but sit around and talk with little babies and I'll do that, all right. And then as old folk, that's when your work will speak for you. And the love, you've been harsh to me. Well, love is harsh. Is that what the prophet says to Yah? Come and after you finish reproving me, all right, we think reproof is harsh, but it's not harsh. Can I ask you all a question you'd have, baby? You have never spanked him in all your life. But he thinks it's harsh. But that's love. Yes. It brings about an attitude change and correction. Yeah. Well, you don't want her to spank. No, you did that to her. That's how I did that to her. You do the righteous thing, but just don't do it in my presence. Tell me what you're going to do and I'll leave. No, I'm not going to leave. Forgive me. Just wait. Then when we go from there, I'm not going to leave. No. That's how we do it. But I would be a fool telling him to spare the rod. That time I say, oh, don't do that. his wife when her dad was going to knock her out. Yes, he was. Who did she run to? This messenger. No, no, okay, no, no. She did it. His eye was red as fire. And if you had been there to try to stop him, I would have grabbed hold of you. Made him take her home. I did make him go home. He said, I don't care what Rayok says. But he did. He did. I reminded her brother, when your daddy was laying the leather on you, I felt sorry for you. And once I started talking to it stopped. That's what it sounded like over there. Daddy. You should have known. You should have called him daddy before you did that. And Berlin put about 5 on him. I said, oh man. I said, you hard-headed. As soon as I said that, Berlin stopped. You get him back down there. And I made him stay down there too. I said, boy, I'll tell you what. Get out of here and run around the strike. That didn't even do him well because he ran around 4 times. I told him, go run 4. And he ran. He didn't jog. He ran. Then later on, he said, I could have did more. I could have did 12 more for you. Boy, you little arrogant. Your dad about to skin your eye. Well, he did. I didn't do it. He said, I'm going to cut you. And I said, Brother Lindsay, she's a woman now. You can't do it that way. Light went off. If I had to say, you're not going to do it, he would have obeyed me. It's harder for me would have made him obey me. This is the fact of the matter. You're not going to do it. Stop. Maybe he should have. Should he? No. Hallelujah. Quickly, I want to finish up this. I thought I would have time. But I didn't. Where did I stop? In Hebrews? Yes. He that appointed, quickly. In verse 3 of Hebrews 3, for this man counted worthy of more kavod than Moshe, and so much that he would. I've read that. I want to jump to Jubilees quickly, and then I'm going to close in a minute or so, all right? I think I can finish. Jubilees, quickly, run with me. This is Yitzchak. When he knew that it was time for him to move beyond the Suram, he called his sons. He did not say one was a white son, one was a black son. He called Esav and Yaakov. So he instructed them in what disciplines must, that they're paramount in their lives, and they must have. And he appointed them, he showed them what is the appointment of destruction. So Jubilees 36 quickly. I want to read verse 10, just one verse. And I want you to hear this. But on that day, that is the appointed day, but on that day, turbulence and extraction, he says, and indignation and anger with flaming divine fire as he burned Sodom. Well, who burned Sodom? Yah did he? Yeah. He's going to have the same exhortation. It's going to be the same thing. It's going to be turbulent. He's as he burned Sodom. So likewise will he burn his land, Jerusalem, and his city, and all that is his. You all hear that? Yeah. He's going to use the fire. He's going to use the fire to purge that side. And he shall be blotted out of the book of the disciples and the children of men, and not be recorded in the book of life. It's a blessing that our names are recorded in the book of life, in the bosom and the heart of Yeshua. Yeah. But in that day, it is appointed. It doesn't say that. Yeah. It is appointed destruction. He's going to bring it down to the gates of hell. Yeah. And not only that, and he shall depart into everlasting execration, so that the condemnation may be also renewed in hate, and the exhortation in wrath, and the torment in indignation, and the plague in thy season. This is your mouth talking. And I say and testify to you, my sons, I'm telling you this, don't get crazy. According to the judgment which shall come upon the man who wishes to injure his brother. You tell me I can injure my brother because we got a little small disagreement with your sister? Because she has a beauty you don't have, and that's the way we think. And you tell me I will injure my brother or sister? I said, this was going to befall you. Yeah. This is what is going to happen. Now, this is what he says here. This is what Moshe says. But Baruch gives me a greater understanding. Second Baruch, quickly. Second Baruch, 19:1. Second Baruch, 19:1. And Yah answered and said to me, this is Second Baruch, chapter 19, verse 1. Therefore, he appointed a Brit. Has he not appointed a covenant with us?
Yes.
Has he not appointed a Torah with us?
Yes.
Has not he appointed the man for us?
Yes.
He appointed a Brit for them at that time and said, behold,
yes,
I'll appoint for you life and death.
yes.
Now we must choose life. Yah appointed life and death. And he called heaven and earth as a witness against us. He appoints life. Is there not life in the dumb? Is Yahshua not the life of YisraYah'ale? And he appoints sin. Is not when sin is finished, it brings forth death. And you can let the sin of your mind and your heart seduce you and corral you. And you think you're all right. Listen, my friend, when we're all right at the time of the season, we're going to see the fruit. Something is strange. I watched people over the years. They will find strangers that come here they don't know. And they develop such damn friendship and such love. And yet among even the nation of people that have struggled with them, been around them, and they've developed with, there's nothing there. I watched men. There was one that was here. Simon the sorcerer is gone. But the one that gave gold, gave me land, and to show this person how honorable I am, he has a son, and the son would call me. I'm not a liar, and I don't lie. I'm a notary public. I did all the paperwork, signed the land over. I called his sister. I told his son, tell your aunt to call me. I sent the deeds, the land for his son. I didn't have to. Hell, I could have sold it. Matter of fact, I even mentioned it to her. She told her, and even her mother said, where is that? It's a beautiful piece of land. I'm not that kind of a person. I sent the land to his son. I said to the sister, sell the land. Use it for his son. And we find such a rapport, but you can't find rapport with me. I'm in the house of YisraYah'ale. That's strange. It's almost like a man choosing a strange woman, and he thinks she loves him more than his wife. A wife finding a strange man. You don't even know him. All you know is your lust and his lust, and you think he loves you. Now, women that have killed men's wives because they want the man to leave the wife and come to them. Now, women that are in prison. The men that are in prison that killed the husband of a woman. I talk straight up and real.
Hallelujah.
I talk real talk. And I talk the real talk because that's who we are. And that's a fact. I told one, your sons cannot, they're not welcome here. I haven't heard from them since then. I don't care. Their wicked sons are not coming. Dope smoking, devil smoking dope on these grounds. One of them caught him smoking dope. I said to Zakane that we drive with me. I watched him go up through the gate. I told my friend, and who was with him? Shimri. Them two. And I eased over, I knew where it was. I went right on him, running, threw his dope down. And I made him give me, I still got the dope here. I said, boy, I would break your ass in half. I said, as a matter of fact, if I call the police, they come to take you to jail. This crazy ass daddy, it's all right. No, I don't want you back here. I said, I don't even want them on my grounds. Yet they became my grounds then. I said, boy, I'll call the police on you. And you think, to bring that kind of demonic spirit on our ground, and this is all you think of it? I still got the dope. I still got the dope. And the only reason I let him stay after that, and I said, Shimri, what these Akim? I said, if he go, I said, you don't even go nowhere but right there. You don't even go down to their house. You better stay here. If I catch you, I'm kicking you off right there. And the only reason I did because he was begging and crying. And I'll tell his Jonaka Papi and his mammy too. You know he's not right. Because when you do that, people really get you. True. You don't want to. I know, right? Their offerings and gifts didn't build this place.
Yeah.
I said again, their offerings and gifts did not build this place. It did not buy one slither of land. And we're going to be here when all of them think that their offerings are going to sustain us. We're still going to be here. So I endure people. I tolerate them. But I'm not going to allow the toleration to go beyond the law of Yah. Get off of these grounds. I was one that thought that she should have your husband. Oh, she sent money. Her best friend was this piece. If that thing that lived in that house up there, as nasty and filthy as that dog was, if that's your best friend and you can trust her, you are a sick damn creature. You don't even go up in that house there. You still got to get on that. I want to just tell you something. If that's your friend, when I went in that house, I said, how in hell does someone live like that? I wouldn't think. It's scary walking in that house. So that thing said she's not coming back. It doesn't make any difference. She's still in there. Oh, we've had our battles. That's all right. You had battles before you met him. Y'all don't understand that. Love him anyway. He loves you. And a stinking thing like that up there, I brought you a gift, I don't want it. You bringing me food and all of that. You're lying to the welfare, you're stealing. I say you can take it home, I don't want it. You're stealing from the welfare, we're not welfare beggars. You're stealing money from the welfare buying food. You're stealing money from the welfare paying your rent. You're stealing money from the welfare and selling that. That's evil. True. There are people out there that need that. There's an old mother that needs it. There's a mother that works every day and needs those stamps. And that man, that thing, working. Now, I'm not going to buy that. The only reason I tolerate them is just for the children. Damn, I can imagine I've seen one dressed like a buffalo whore. It's a shame, man. It's a shame, YisraYah'ale.
Yeah.
And even the thing they call my husband got mad at me. He's going to do something to me. Boy, I will knock you out. Can I tell you a little story? I went to sleep one day. And I told him, you stop letting those dogs loose around the people. and Zakim bin Amin, and I would run. And that dog charged us. I didn't shoot on that ground. But when I pulled that 40 out and I blasted down, I started to kill it. They would never lose after that. Because of rigging up that big 40. Now he's ready to do, man. He goes get him one. Little boy, I'm not afraid of you. One day I was riding with him and said, oh, hold up. One day I went through that gate, watermelon, chicken. I'm not juvenile, you understand. Those children, you know. The boy was filthy as they come, dirty. I don't even think she let them take bath. That's not even no mother's love. And that faggot of a thing she called that. So I come through that one day in the big dump truck. And I would ride. I said, there he is. And I stopped. I said, how you doing, man? See, I'm not a coward. I don't fear men. Not because of my physicality or nothing. I don't fear. He talked to me like I was his best friend, did he? Did he talk to me that way that day? Huh? Did he talk to me that way? I wouldn't know who owned this house because I wanted for us. He talked to me like I was his best friend. He was so kind to me. Why? Because I didn't do him no evil. I would stop by there and give him chicken. I would stop by there. I take all the watermelons you all want. When I go buy watermelon, I would stop by there and give them. The children were sad. They were dirty. They were nasty. You understand? I say to his son, go take these shoes up there to him. No, not shoes that I had worn. Brand new shoes. Take him this nice pair. Because he has nice shoes. I say, take that up. Tell him to meet you. And give him some shoes. And he would be so elated. And I would still tell her, you're a nasty Jezebel. You're a nasty dog. That's what you are. And she knows it. You understand? She respects me more than you respect that thing that went back to Florida. Why? Because she knows that I told the truth. Yes. She knows that woman that she hung with, which is as nasty and dirty as she is. That's why she can talk to it and she can spend time with it. That's why she can leave here and go back and stop up there and make a conversation. Yes. You understand? Yes. Let me close with it. I want to close. I got much more, but I want to close with these two things. I want to close from Hanuk quickly, Hanuk 5:5. And I got one more thing in Ibrahim I want to read. Two things. You all just bless you. I got two things we're going to close, all right? Yeah. We got so much to do. Hallelujah. You that are joining Yapruk. Listen to this in Hanuk. This is the exhortation of the death of the wicked. In Hanuk chapter 5, verse 5. Hanuk 5:5. This is what Yah says. Therefore, you shall curse your days and years of your life shall perish, multiplying in eternal exhortation. And there shall not be any kindness to you. Who's he talking to? The wicked. And eternal exhortation in an abominable, filthy, stinking state. In those days, you shall make your name an eternal execration, and all the righteousness, semicolon, and sinners shall curse you continuously. It's like your mama telling you, you lied to me, you didn't tell me the truth, Daddy, you didn't correct me, you should have told me what was right, you should have acted out, you were telling me to do one thing, and then you did something, and they're going to curse you. That's what Yah says. They're going to curse you. How? They shall curse you continuously, and together with the sinner. But there's a preference in verse 7. Yeah. But to the elect, but to the Bochia, the chosen, the appointed ones of God, but to the elect there shall be light. We shall have the light of YHWH, Hanuk 5:7. We shall have the light. We shall have joy, and we shall have shalom, and they shall inherit the earth. To the wicked ones, on the contrary, that will be a curse for you. Parents, you don't even know. Mothers and fathers, you placate and you play. You're not serious in your activities of life. And they damn you, and they're going to damn your about. You don't play. You're full of your bullshit. That's the way we are. You're not honest and honorable. Fact of the matter. They don't honor what you do because it means nothing. It's like water rolling off a duck's back. Because if they knew that your sincerity and your dedication, that they would be afraid of it. They would. That's a fact. I don't care what you all think. Yeah. I love my mother. I was telling my friend back at the back, he helped me yesterday. We spent about an hour plus together. Had a great time. I enjoyed him. I really enjoyed him, and I bust his head, his handsome face, I crack it with an elbow. We enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because when I came, didn't mean to help me. He was over there in the front because we had discussed it. I said, that's all right. Man, get away from me. You don't have that. Walk in, get some battery. That's how I said it. He didn't hold no answer in his heart against me like some little peewee. And so I can tell when he embraced me is something that, even when I fuss and I told, when I embrace him out, he like, preach, I like you. I know he does. Look at it. I know he does. And he sat there, moved out, and we sat, we talked, showed him some things. We had a wonderful time. And I said, buddy, I'll take you to my office. You got to walk the rest of the way. But we had a wonderful time. Yeah. We really did. I cried. I shared my life, my testimony with him. Not that I'm better than any one of my brothers and sisters. I didn't do the things they did. I didn't call my mother the B word. I didn't talk to her. I didn't steal no 200,000-300,000 out of her. I didn't take advantage of her. I would not let her give me anything. I want to pay my tithes to you. I didn't let her pay her tithes to me. I didn't take it. And that's a fact, my friend. But I enjoyed his fellowship. I would be lying if I said that. I enjoyed it. His gentleness, his kindness, his meekness. And I don't play, do I? Not one bit. But to you that are the elect, we're the bought here of Yah. We're going to have the light of his Torah, Yahshua. Even in afflictions, as we were taught this week, we'll have his Shimshah, his joy of delight. And then we're going to be at shalom with each other always as we. And we shall inherit the earth. But to you that does contrary, you're wicked, you know you're wicked. You strengthen the hands of the wicked, but you condemn the righteous. He said, on the contrary, there's already a curse for you. There's already a curse for you. I want to close with this last verse. All that I read, they were appointed, right? All appointed. Yeah. I'm going to read this. I want all of your eyes on me just for the moment, please, everyone. Look at me. Even you young ones, you please. I want to ask you all a question and answer whether I'm reading this from the book or not. This came out of the breath high. My great orator of skill and care for us. His name is Shaul. You call him Paul. We call him by his Hebraic name, Shaul. Shaul. S-H-A-U-L. There's a hyphen there. Shaul. Shaul. This is what he says to us. And as it is a book of man, as it is appointed, it is reserved, it is set, it is sealed, appointed to men, what to apatonis, to die. And that death is, apatonis is eternal death, wants to die, but after the judgment. All the appointments I read from Leviticus 23 beginning, all of them were appointed. Yes. Is that true there? Yes. They all are true. Yes. They all are true. Every appointment, this time, this season, it is an appointment of Yah. You that don't work on Monday evening to Tuesday evening. That is the Shabbatot of Yah. We will have great fellowship. We're going to be outside, weather permitting, and I believe it is. We're going to sing and eat and rejoice. And then we're going to have 2 services that Tuesday morning, and then we're going to have a great time here. I have sent the events out to the people. As a matter of fact,
I'm so happy for the events and everything. And don't forget, I know you're listening, bring all the instruments you're going to play, we're going to sing, and we're going to have a great time. You are a musician at best, and we're going to have a great time. I enjoy him. I enjoy his beautiful his kindness. He's a very meek man. Someone of his nation, Cuba, and even of his issue, Jamaica. The great perils that people of those countries. I see them come here arrogant as hell and thinking they got something. But I haven't seen people like that, that are so, as we would say, earthly people and down to earth. I gave him I took him to Charlotte one time with me, YHWH. Took him while I lived. And you know, I'm ashamed of all the things like that. But I'm honest enough. I told him my whole history, my testimony. Took him to the place where I cried between those trees, say, Yah, if you ever give me a wife and children, I would never let them come up like me. I meant that. And his heart wept, and he said, you know, Ria, when you're honest with people, it's not that he hasn't been honest. He has always been honest. He will begin, and they'll begin to tell you, I don't want to know anything about YHWH. I know he's kind. I know he's sweet. I know he's a bright man. I know he's a smart man. I know his wife she could not be a teacher if she didn't not have the academics to be that. I know she's a smart woman. That's not the issue. His love and kindness speaks more than all of that. My children, they can't wait. They want to get there. These babies say, no, well, Papa, you got them shofar. Well, sure. I had to get extras. Make sure you got them some. That's what they said. You got them something. He said a beautiful train set for him. Stop that. For him and their son. I let you once I put it up, but I haven't put it up yet. So everybody can enjoy it, all the little boys. And that's how kind he has been to us. That grappler, he sent the money for that. That big old machine that we used to come, he said that thing, we got $4,000 in it. And that's how he gives. He's a kind man. Very meek. He's not offensive like me. I'm full of that. At times he said, I like you smiling, but I don't like you. I'm just saying you don't meet people like him. You don't. I'm not saying that to boast him because I will crack his head like I will crack your head. But I appreciate him. Yes. We were talking one day out here, we were talking, he said, I told him, give me some recipes. But I can't give you the money, but I cook for you. We would have a great time. And he talked about how the people in his country, how they eat unclean things. I didn't let him get by with that. I did it before all the brothers. We talked. You see, I know how the revolution started by the men because that's what we looked at in my days. We talked about things like that. Che Guevara and Fidel Castro and Raul Castro. You understand that? And the Bay of Pigs in this great battle against this suppression and oppression of their people about this colonialism of slavery and robbing their islands. He said, get out! And where Sheikh Shamara messed up, he thought he could expand that throughout the hemisphere of the islands, and they killed him. You see, that's what I learned. I wasn't around, as you would think, my friend, using what you call profanity. I was a student of things. And I said to him that day, I know he's listening, I'm not embarrassing him. I said, my friend, you have to understand, what do you tell a man to eat when he's suppressed under all that kind of oppression? He can't buy the beef because that's for the bourgeois class. What does it eat? But a swan that can run or a snake, whatever he can eat. And if we were in that position, we eat the same thing. I don't give a damn what you say. Your baby starving. You got a snake, you find some damn way to cook it and eat it. It's self-preservation. So what do you do to people like that? They catch a catfish and throw it like, no. We have sinned to such a filthy degree that is not going to defile them, that they are not obedient unto Yah's Torah. They know they have sinned. Yah, please let. I was so hungry. I had preaching. I couldn't have made it down. You don't know I know wrong. We are hypocrites. We are some of the most hypocritical liars on the face of the earth. And I said point blank, emphatically, and I don't apologize. See, you might as well love me. You might as well. May the riches of Yah rest upon us in Yahshua's mighty name. I'm not here to give us no clean puff sermon. Man doesn't deal with my sins every time he teaches me. He's not dealing with me. You got to deal with my sins. You got to show me how vile and corrupt I am. You got to show me the stench of me. I don't want to hear nothing about getting no car. You know, broke as they come, but I can go get a brand new car today. I know how to talk to people. I tell you what. That man I went for that job, I tell you what. Man, give you this job. When he told me how much he paid, I didn't even go back. That's what it's now. Let us stand to our feet. Come on, Yisrael. Yes, right. Let's turn toward YHWH. In all things we do for the excellence of your strength. For these, this is your appointed. Whereby you have appointed. This appointment that we are appointed to carry out. We look to the heavens and see what we must do. Nothing is altered. Bless your nation. Your people in Yahshua's name. Bless YisraYah'ale is scattered abroad throughout the whole earth. And bless us all today to eat the abundance of your fruit and your nation, Yah. Bless them. Yah. Just bless us all and keep us all as we come to this great zenith of time of great fellowship. We're going to fellowship truly and enjoy one another. And the blessed assurance of the name of Yahshua HaMashiach. Bless us all this day and give us all guidance. This is our simple prayer. We pray for Zakin Tamasya and our friends YHWH, Savior, the God, and all YisraYah'ale scattered abroad, and those that we don't call our name, Uncle Lester, and all of them, God, in Yahshua's name. A host made there in Chicago. Bless her. She's so kind to us. All this time and years, faithful in her giving. Never seen her yet, but bless her for kindness of all her issue. And all in Yahshua's name we pray. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
us praise Yahweh, for He's worthy to be praised. We have brought to Him the offering of praise, so let us lift up His name. For the conclusion of the matter is that we should have our for this is the duty of every man. So let us praise His name. Praise His name. Oh, don't you know? Up your hands in the tabernacle and lift your voices to Yahweh. Let everything that has make a joyful noise, for it is Yahweh that gives us life. For He has given us YHWH, which is the perfect offering. We are washed in His precious, precious blood. So let us give Torah to Yah, Torah to Yah.